Hi, it's Chloe here, host of the show, and I'm butting in before every single episode to tell you to get your free ticket to our brand new virtual event right now. This time, we're tackling the problem of overstocks, both how to avoid them and how to clear them. So it's perfect for you if you've got stock in your warehouse you desperately need to turn back into cash. You want to clear your stock without filling all your marketing space with discount messages. You want to leverage your stock to improve your profits, cash flow, and environmental impact. Just use our short link, keepopt.com/summit to get your free ticket. And to answer the number one most asked question, will replays be available? Why yes, replays will be available to everyone who has signed up. So sign up and then you can watch at your convenience. Just use our short link, keepopt.com/summit to get your free ticket now. So hit pause, sign up, and then come back and hit play to hit the rest of the episode you actually wanted to listen to.
Figure out, what SMS actually is, how it can benefit, the perks and the challenges, and then figure out how it fits into you and the community and the brand that you're building.
You're listening to the Keep Optimizing podcast to increase your traffic, improve your conversion rates, and grow your profits.
Hello and welcome. I'm Chloe Thomas, the host of this marketing-focused podcast. If you're not familiar with our format, well, each month we focus on a different marketing method, could be email or SEO or Facebook ads, and each week I interview a different marketing method expert to explore the latest advice on making it work for you. This month we're all about email marketing, which is where we also include SMS. So in this episode we are going deep into SMS. Should you be adding SMS to your marketing mix right now? If so, how do you start? How do you gather those SMS numbers rather? We've got 3 great ways to do that coming up. What do you do with your SMS automations? What do you do with your SMS campaigns? Yes, we are covering everything SMS in this episode, and make sure you listen right to the end of the episode because my guest will be sharing some quick fire insider tips about both SMS and email to help you maximize the performance of your marketing, and I'll be sharing my take on it all, plus outlining some more free ways we can help you to improve your email marketing even more. So stay tuned to the end. Today's episode is brought to you by Omnisend. Omnisend is an email and SMS marketing platform built for online merchants like you who want to increase their sales, not their workloads. With Omnisend, you'll be launching pre-built e-commerce automations in no time, as well as intuitively segmenting customers based on their shopping behaviour, and even trying out SMS or push notifications, all from the same platform. More than 80,000 e-commerce brands use Omnisend to drive sales and build better customer relationships, converting their customers with quick-to-create, highly relevant emails and texts. The best part? You can get 30% off Omnisend for your first 3 months right now, but only when you visit keepopt.com/Omnisend, with Omnisend spelled OMNISEND. Go to keepopt.com/Omnisend now to save. It's finally live, Chloe's eCommerce Club. Yes, my new free online club where the whole Keep Optimizing audience and our experts can come together. The point of the club is to help you all improve your e-commerce businesses and to help you solve your marketing challenges, learn more tactics, and much more. We are starting simple and focusing on that core aim of helping us all get through this challenging year in the best way possible. But we've got lots lined up for the coming months, and I'm sure we'll add more things into the club based on your needs and feedback. It really is a club all about you and supporting your business. And yes, I will personally be there hanging out and helping you Monday to Friday. So, how can you join me in the club? Well, just go to keepopt.com/club. It's totally free to join, so come and join me and hundreds of our listeners at keepopt.com/club. Today I'm chatting with email marketing expert Kerri McDonald. Kerri co-founded her agency The Greenhouse in 2020 to help e-commerce brands improve their email and SMS channels. They've already helped over 30 brands to generate over $50 million via email and SMS alone. Prior to founding The Greenhouse, she was director of marketing for a beauty brand, where she grew e-commerce sales from $2 million to $25 million in just 3 years. Hello, Kerri.
Hi, Chloe. Thank you so much for having me.
Brilliant to have you here, and congrats on the success of your agency and your prior success growing that brand. You clearly have the magic touch when it comes to email and SMS.
I found my passion in marketing and e-commerce and email and SMS, and I'm really happy of the journey that I'm on, for sure.
Excellent. Well, how did you get into email marketing? How did that journey start for you?
6 years ago, I was looking for a career change, taught myself graphic design. And then at that point, I had an opportunity open up to start an e-commerce company as a graphic designer. Was designing the emails, and then, how it goes in a fast growing startup, you're never just doing one thing. And so my job expanded into then sending the emails and eventually then leading up the entire marketing department, and then becoming the director of marketing, where I was still managing the email and the SMS programs and also overseeing the entire marketing team, designers, and all of the agencies that we worked with on that side. So that's how I got into it. Email and SMS was something that terrified me in the beginning. Pressing send to a list of, 600K. Definitely, I still get on edge when I have to do it, but it's a passion of mine just because of the channel and the closeness that we have with customers.
Back in the day when I had my agency, we used to do some email marketing for people. And it was, if we had someone in doing work experience or something, we'd get them to build an email and then we'd let them hit send and then watch the money coming in, and just their eyes would just be like, I'm allowed to hit send? You're crazy. I'm like, yeah, you can hit send. There's an emotional thing about that, isn't there?
Yes, for sure.
So much so. Anyway, we are not here to wax lyrical about the joys of hitting the send button. We're here to talk about how we add SMS to our email and or to our marketing in general. So for someone out there who's listening, who's going, yeah, I know we should be doing SMS, Chloe. Everyone's been telling me to do it for a couple of years now. I still haven't done it. What would you say to convince them that the time is now?
I'm going to take the question in a little bit of a different direction and to say, I don't think that the time is now being that like 2023 is the time. I feel like it's more of a question of what time is it right for your brand or the company. And I think the when to say that is, after you've built a strong email list already, 20K plus, right? You have a strong foundation on email, you have a strong foundation on your other channels, and you're ready to introduce another channel that is going to help you get even closer to your customers. And the reason I answer that way is because SMS is the most personal channel that you can contact your customers on. And when done incorrectly, you can get an influx of subscribers and then scare them away very quickly with spammy tactics. So it's more of a question of, when is it right for your business? Do you have a strong foundation on your other channels set up? Do you have the bandwidth to think about a good strategy? Do you have, proper marketing planning in place in general, right? I see that a lot. The marketing is just kind of winging it on all the channels. And so that's just what SMS will be, just an extension of you winging it on all your channels. So, I'd say ask yourself those questions before diving in. But certainly, we know that changes are coming all the time with Apple and Google and all of that. So I'd think you'd want to capitalize on it now, earlier rather than later, before any other changes are made, and SMS performance might go down due to some changes like that.
I love that answer, Kerri, especially because you said about how, get to 20,000 on your email list, make sure you're strong on your other channels before you add in the SMS. And I was going to come in and say, is that 20,000 because we need that many, or is that 20,000 because we need to be a developed brand who understand what we're doing, what we're talking about, and all the rest of it? And then you went on to say, don't do it until you're not winging it anymore. And I feel like sometimes brands are just like, I must do it. And everything is kind of done in a bit of a half-assed way. Mm-hmm. So I love the fact you're making that point of let's be ready for it. That's so crucial, isn't it?
Yeah. And one point that I like to say a lot to brands and on conversations like this is that, every channel is important for a brand, right? Every channel is important as you're growing a brand. That might be overwhelming to think about, but it's figuring out which channels are important at which stage in your journey. So they're all important, but they're all not important at the particular stage that you're in your journey. So yeah, you hear a lot of people talking about you need SMS marketing, but consider where you're at in your journey and figure out what SMS actually is, how it can benefit, the perks and the challenges, and then figure out how it fits into you and the community and the brand that you're building.
So for the brands you've seen using SMS, how is it fitting in best? Is it a service channel? Is it a customer warmth channel and that kind of thing? Is it content? Is it sales? What are the good reasons to be adding SMS in, I suppose?
Yeah, so SMS is, like I said, it's the closest and fastest way to kind of get to your customers, right? Your text messages are going to be sitting amongst text messages from their mom, their grandma, their boyfriend, their friends, group text, etc., right? So it's a very personal channel and it's the most direct way to get to your customers right now. So when we think about the functions that it can provide, it can do all of those things that you mentioned, right? It's a two-way channel, right? So you can open up that stream of two-way communication, whether it be service, text us back if you have any issues or questions, right? It can be information gathering, kind of almost like a survey, like, what did you like about this product, or what X concerns are you experiencing right now, and gathering information that way. So it's a good two-way channel. I think you can do, sales, promotion, education, community building, all of the things. But I think most importantly, it needs to be relatable and drive value for the customer, right? Because if they're getting texts from their mom and their boyfriend, and then here you are just spamming them with a promo every week, they're not gonna be likely to stick around for very long because it's not providing too much additional value to their life.
It, I guess, comes back to the point you were making at the beginning there about how we need to have a developed marketing strategy to be able to work out where the SMS fits into it all. So where do we start? If we're like, right, we know it's time for us to do SMS. We've got the bandwidth to do it properly amongst our team. Mm-hmm. We know where it's going to fit in. Would I be right in thinking the first step is to get some SMS addresses off your customers? Is it that simple a starting point?
That is correct. That is the very bare minimum requirements that you will need for starting an SMS program, for sure. Once you have a email list already built up, it's a great way to then you have, let's say I use 20,000 because for us, that's our minimum that we work with. And it feels like a good amount of people to communicate with, get information on, figure out what they like, what they don't like, etc. And you can segment 20,000 people. Whereas trying to segment 5,000 or 2,000 people, you get such small segments that you can't really do much with that amount of people, right? So 20,000 feels like a good number. But if you have that on the email list, then turning there to those people and saying, hey, we've opened up this additional channel that's an even better way to connect with us more directly so that we can provide more value to you, whether that be exclusive discounts, exclusive product launches, early access, things like that. And say, hey, if you want to be more involved in our community, SMS is one way to do that. One thing I will say is that whatever you communicate to your customers, whether that be early access, new launches, etc., actually give them that, okay? Don't just say, we're going to give you early access and then release the SMS, 2 days after you've launched the entire collection, right? So actually follow through with what you say, but just unlocking that, with the email channel is a good way to bump the subscribers in the beginning and all throughout your journey, right? Because people are always more likely to give you their email address than they are to give you their phone number. So, you'll always have more emails than you will SMS numbers. So you can always kind of turn to the list and try to convert more people over to another channel. And then also social media is a great place because you already have an audience there that's interested. So putting it, in your link in bio, for example, or putting it as a highlighted story to get some sort of offer, giveaway, something to get on the SMS list is a really good strategy. So turning to those two places first to start building a list. And yes, that is the first step. get people on the list, right?
And on that list growing front, I see brands kind of struggling over with the website capture pop up. Do we just stick with email and we do SMS in the welcome campaign? Do we do like a 2-stage pop up email to SMS? From what you're saying, when you're saying about we'll get our existing email subscribers to sign up and we'll use social call outs to get the SMS, are we leaving the website untouched essentially and letting that focus on email capture for us?
No, what I've seen be most successful is the 2-step pop-up where the first screen is email and the second screen is SMS, and making it so that they're on different screens so that if they hit submit on the email screen, it actually submits their email and you capture their email. Whereas I've seen it, people doing both on the same page and requiring both, and then that will just kind of turn people away from submitting both. So in a way, it's almost like tricking them, the customers, of like, hey, get 10% off, enter your email, and they hit enter. I like the word continue because it doesn't say, get the discount. You have to continue to the next page, right? And then they have the SMS capture. Whether they submit the SMS or not, that's up to them, but at least you've captured their email. And I think about 50%, from what we're seeing, like 40 to 50% of the people that put their email in will follow through with the SMS.
You say it's a bit of a trick. I think it's a polite way, because I'm definitely someone who's happier giving their email address away than their phone number.
Yeah.
And if I get one of those pop-ups that's like email and phone number, I'm like, I only want to give you my email. Why can't I just give you my email? And so you're turning people off if you're not giving them those options, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And you don't want to make it feel like a form or like a chore, like give us your name. I've seen like give us your name, give us your email, give us your phone number, tell me when's your birthday, what are you here shopping for? It's like, I'm just here to browse, I'll give you my email. I want a discount. I want something. I'll stick around, but don't overwhelm me with a whole sign up roster when I get to your website.
It's like rule 101 of forms. Fewer fields, people, fewer fields.
One per page.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're building our list. I guess what we build is going to depend on what our strategies are, but are there any key don'ts to do? Are there any big errors you see people making that we need to avoid doing?
Errors in terms of growing the list or with the program in general?
Either.
Okay. Well, I'd say a big don't for SMS in general, and I think I kind of touched on it already, is, don't only send promotions or, launch email or messages on the channel. A nice analogy I like to make for that is, let's imagine you have a friend or a family member who only messages you when they need something from you. They need money, they need something, they need you to get them something, they need you to do something for them, and they don't provide any other value to your life. Are you more likely to want to hear from them or less likely? And I think, the majority of people would say that, that's annoying, and more chance of, with a brand, you can just opt out, say stop, right? If it's a friend, you can't just, it might be harder to just cut that off. But if it's a brand, it's easy to just reply stop and then, get it off. So that's number one. And I'd say in general, it's really good to work with so when I started doing SMS marketing was about 5 years ago, and the platforms were really kind of establishing themselves and growing. And even the platforms were trying to figure out SMS marketing and how to do it, and the rules. I've used every platform imaginable at this point, all of the top ones for e-commerce, and I would just say use a good platform for SMS. There's a lot of new ones coming up like recently as of 2022, 2023. And those new platforms just don't have the same credibility. And it's like the same thing as email, right? Because these platforms are sending millions of messages. So the ones that send more messages have better deliverability with the carriers. So working with a bigger SMS platform gives you better chance of deliverability. Your message is not looking spammy when they're being sent, all of those things. So just working with like a solid, well-known SMS company for your program.
To go with the tried and tested tech. This isn't the time to go with the brand new, shiny, one.
Definitely. I mean, the ones that are brand new that I'm seeing, they're not even really that shiny. They're just trying to, they're just trying to get new customers. And I get it. But for SMS, in my experience, go with the well-known people who've been doing it for a while.
Top advice. Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Kerri. And I guess leaning into your clearly don't spam in this channel point. What often when I'm talking to people about SMS, I'm get the impression that like 90% of the SMS activity is triggered by something, rather than it being, oh, it's Tuesday, we need to send out our SMS newsletter and come up with something. Is that the right way to be thinking about this channel?
Definitely. Right now, I do have one account that's kind of just running only through automations. So I would say, also a good starting point for SMS is just kind of mimic your email automations in SMS. They can do all of the same things, welcome series, abandoned cart, browse abandonment, post purchase, win back, all the same triggers are there. Again, if you work with a good SMS company, all of the same triggers will be there. There's little things like with SMS, you can only send one abandoned cart message, and with email, you can send multiple. That is a carrier rule. So you can only send one message. So it's like figuring out how to kind of layer that with your email, sending the SMS after 20 minutes because it invokes the quickest reaction, then sending the email after a couple hours, and then kind of just layering it. But automations for sure. A good SMS program has a good foundation of. But also, I will say that, you do need to layer it with campaigns as well. My sweet spot for a good audience and a good list is 6 to 8 per month campaigns, one-off. Not it's a Tuesday, let's send a campaign, but, planned and things like that.
I think SMS often on that campaign side of it but I often think it benefits from being a bit more timely.
Yes.
Get first access. If you because it has that quicker reaction speed, or sales just gone live, or it's due to be sunny this weekend, here's a discount code to get your sun cream or something.
Absolutely.
Is that the way of thinking about it?
We really don't have any way to know, but there is some sort of stat that flies around that says, 99% of text messages are opened within the first 15 minutes of receiving them, right? So you can be sure that, within 15 minutes of sending that text, the majority of your customers are going to take whatever action that they're going to take. Now, it's your job to make sure that that text provokes them enough to make an action, right? Is it compelling enough? Does it hit home? Is the messaging right? One of the best SMS programs that I'm a part of that I sign up for, and I literally mention this brand on every podcast and interview that I go on just because they do so well, is Glossier. Like, they just have a really nice job of targeting their customers at the right time. I got a text message on a Thursday morning that said, hey, in case no one told you, you're doing amazing. Also, P.S., don't forget to wash your face. And it really triggered something in me, like, okay, good reminder. Also, thanks for the hype up. And I don't buy anything from the brand, but I always engage with their text messages. I click on their links. They're always top of mind for me. So, it's an interesting way, and it does have that, quickness. You drop something immediately, the SMS list is going to pick it up in the quickest amount of time for sure. Whereas an email can live in an inbox, people could open it 5 days later. It's less likely, but it happens.
Cool. Thank you, Kerri. It's been awesome picking your brains about getting our SMS happening. Listeners, remember to stay tuned right to the end so you don't miss out on Kerri's insider tips on email marketing and SMS, and my suggestions for more free resources to help you improve things even further in your business. Today's episode is brought to you by Omnisend. Omnisend is an email and SMS marketing platform built for online merchants like you who want to increase their sales, not their workloads. With Omnisend, you'll be launching pre-built e-commerce automations in no time, as well as intuitively segmenting customers based on their shopping behaviour, and even trying out SMS or push notifications, all from the same platform. More than 80,000 e-commerce brands use Omnisend to drive sales and build better customer relationships, converting their customers with quick-to-create, highly relevant emails and texts. The best part? You can get 30% off Omnisend for your first 3 months right now, but only when you visit keepopt.com/Omnisend, with Omnisend spelt OMNISEND. Go to keepopt.com/Omnisend now to save. It's finally live, Chloe's eCommerce Club. Yes, my new free online club where the whole Keep Optimizing audience and our experts can come together. The point of the club is to help you all improve your e-commerce businesses and to help you solve your marketing challenges, learn more tactics, and much more. We are starting simple and focusing on that core aim of helping us all get through this challenging year in the best way possible. But we've got lots lined up for the coming months, and I'm sure we'll add more things into the club based on your needs and feedback. It really is a club all about you and supporting your business. And yes, I will personally be there hanging out and helping you Monday to Friday. So, how can you join me in the club? Well, just go to keepopt.com/club. It's totally free to join, so come and join me and hundreds of our listeners at keepopt.com/club. Okay, Kerri, so far we've gone deep into SMS. Now you get to wow us with your insider knowledge about the whole of email marketing. So for the following questions, your answers can be anything to do with email marketing, which in this case does include everything we've already been talking about. So Kerri, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's start with newbie advice. If we've inspired someone to take their first step, what do they need to know to give themselves the best chance of success?
I think one of the things that ties into something I talked about a few times in the beginning was just how important that list growth is, because you can be doing everything right on email and SMS. You know, you have all your automations in place, you're sending your campaigns, you're sending great creatives, you're sending messaging that resonates with your audience. But if your list is not growing at a good rate, audience fatigue is a real thing. And so there's only so many ways that you can market the same thing to the same 20,000 or 5,000 people, right? So I would say list growth is important from a pop-up standpoint, but also from an acquisition and traffic standpoint. You know, really think about where you're driving your traffic from and how you're driving new traffic and better leads to your website. It's important to what we look at when new clients that come to us is, you know, what are their traffic sources and are they even driving strong traffic and good quality traffic to the website? Because if not, you know, that those email efforts and SMS efforts will level off and plateau after, you know, a few months of not strong acquisition.
Excellent. Okay, once we've started, of course, you've got to keep optimizing. So what's your favorite way to improve performance?
Definitely. So I geek out on two things: segmentation. So I'm always looking for like new segments to build and really looking at that customer journey. It is a little bit different for every brand and every product, but really trying to hone in on the customer journey and figure out, okay, at what stage of their journey is what messaging going to resonate with them. So I love to be testing different segmentation and content for each segment. And then secondly, as a piggyback to that, I love to be testing creatives. So, you know, like product imagery versus model imagery, testing UGC, testing, you know, copy, headlines, things like that. It's something that we really focus on. So I think there's a lot that can be done when you combine or separately just test, you know, segmentation and creative testing. That can really take large accounts or accounts that have been running for a long time and find little ways to optimize just through segmentation and creatives.
I love that. People do not spend enough time working on that in email and SMS, in my opinion. So I'm really pleased you've added that one in. Mm-hmm. If someone listening wants to learn more, is there one cheap or free resource you would recommend?
I'm going to go really basic here. I lean on the platform guides very heavily, specifically like Klaviyo. They have literally thousands of help articles and conversations that I turn to, and I'm in there daily just learning stuff. And I know that sounds so basic. And then a little added bonus is some companies have started like Slack channels that I have found to be really helpful. It's usually like a group of, you know, brand founders and also marketers, and they're just kind of like sharing information, asking questions, getting advice. So, you know, those are two free easy resources that I lean on personally.
Excellent. Love those advices. And it's that basic stuff, which is the critical stuff to get your hands on. So I'm loving that. Finally, crystal ball time. Kerri, what's coming up in the next 6 to 12 months that we should be getting ready for?
I guess it's different, right, for where you're located in the world. So I'll speak as, someone living in America. The economy right now is going to be taking an interesting turn. And, e-commerce businesses will succeed as they always do. And certain industries will succeed more than others in this time, right? Like beauty brands, people always care about self-care and making sure they look good and feel good, etc. But it will be interesting to see the strategies that brands take over these next 6 to 12 months, because building a community, really having a strong brand, a strong reason, even if people aren't buying for a short amount of time, they're still involved in your brand, and seeing ways that brands are going to do that and keep people around and market to them and talk to them is going to be really interesting for me to watch. And also as a marketer, figure out how we can keep the community involved, even if they might not be buying or even if they're more price sensitive during this time. So I think building brand and community, and that was very broad, but
but it's spot on, isn't it? It's exactly what we need to be doing at the moment, is building those links to survive and thrive. Kerri, we are very nearly at the end of the show. So could you please let the listeners know where they can find you and your business?
Definitely. You can find The Greenhouse at growwithgreenhouse.com. And you can find me mostly active on LinkedIn, Kerri McDonald, also sometimes slightly on Twitter, Kerri Kathleen. So that's where I am.
I like that, slightly on Twitter. So many of us are slightly on Twitter.
Trying to cut back,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kerri, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. You've brought so much brilliant insight with you. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. So thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Chloe. And thanks everyone for listening.
Awesome advice there from Kerri. Some really, really clear bits and pieces for you to pick up for your SMS strategy. And if you don't have the bandwidth to do SMS at the moment, if you're on less than a 20,000 email list, you've got the get out of jail free card. You can park this one for the minute and just work on improving that activity you're already running, which I think means this episode in some ways fits really, really well with the session from last week with Gabe Macaluso from Omnisend, where we were talking about taking a breath and reworking the stuff you've already got live. So I think these two fit really well together. Now, key things as well as that 20,000 limit that or target that Kerri was talking about. I think her advice on growing the list, the different places and ways of doing that was really cool, and the different approaches to the automations into the newsletter. Loads of great tips in there if you're busy building your SMS marketing channel. You can get your links to your links, our links, the links to everything that we discussed with Kerri and the important notes and more at keepoptimising.com, or put keepopt.com/ the number of this episode into your URL bar and you will go straight to the correct page of the website. Save you a couple of clicks there. Once you get yourself to the website, you can also add yourself to our email list so you don't miss out on any of the other things I share to help you improve your business. When you're on the website, please do sign up to our monthly Q&A webinar if you've got questions about your email or your SMS marketing, because my guests from this month will be joining us for a live session at the end of the month. So come and join us for that. Finally, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Keep Optimising podcast. If you've enjoyed it, then do check out Gabe's episode, the last one we put live. Just scroll up your feed and you'll find it, because I think that's really going to help you build on some of the stuff we were talking about in this episode. And you can find all our email marketing content by going to keepopt.com/email. And we've also created a page specifically for the SMS episodes we've done. Now, we've not done a whole month on SMS, but we've had quite a few people come on and talk about it. So we've pulled all that together for you at keepopt.com/SMS, strangely enough. Please do tell your fellow marketers about the show, because I want to help as many of you as possible to improve the performance of your e-commerce marketing this year and beyond. Have a great week and make sure you listen to the next episode so I can help you to keep optimizing your marketing.
Access everything Keep Optimizing at keepoptimising.com. That's with an S, not a Z.
Hello, Chloe here. I just wanted to tell you something super exciting before we get into this episode. Chloe's eCommerce Club is finally live. Yes, my new free online club where the whole Keep Optimising audience can come together to improve your e-commerce marketing is live. So how can you join me in the club? Well, just go to keepop.com/club. It's totally free to join. So go on, hit pause and come and join me and hundreds of our listeners at keepopt.com/club. And then don't forget to hit play and listen to the rest of the episode. See you in the club.